I have a friend that has one of my ST spheres and was asking me about effects and putting effects on it and getting them to render. So I'm going to put together a short video that's going to cover that. Here's a look at my Christmas display, and what we're concerned about is the spheres, mainly the pixel spheres, which are these three spheres here. These are AC lights or incandescents, basically a chicken wire ball with 300 mini lights wrapped around it. And this is a ST sphere that I designed, and it has 112 pixels. We're going to start by going and creating a sequence. So first thing I'm going to do is go up and do a sequence, and I'm going to just discard those changes because I want to start fresh. So we're just going to do animation for this video. So we're going to do 20 frames a second. And also I am going to put in some timing marks, and I'm going to do a metronome, and I'm going to do 5,000 milliseconds, which that basically gives you a little bit of time to view the effect. And you can see here that it's put in some timing marks every 5 seconds. And that works out really well. So the effects that you can use are the bar effect, the pinwheel effect, the single strand effect, the tendril you can use, the wave, the VU meter you can use. You can also use the music effect, and there are other effects that actually work really well. Before I get started, let me go ahead and I'm going to right click and edit display elements, and I'm going to move a sphere right to the top so that it's easy to work with. Okay, so I have these three spheres. So I'm going to move those up top, so that way we can see what's going on with them. All right, so I'm just going to put them right here, so they're right above the snowflake. And we will put sphere 1 at the top and sphere 3 below 2. So now I have those oriented properly. So now if we look here, here's sphere 1, sphere 2, and sphere 3. And that's going to be 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so now let's go ahead and start with the pinwheel. So I'm going to take a pinwheel effect, and I'm going to drag it down here and drop it. And we'll just put it on this one here, the sphere number 1. Also, I have a group. It's called all spheres. So if I were to take this effect and actually move it up by using the arrow keys on the keyboard and drop it on my group that says all, then you can see that it's going to put the effect on all of the spheres. Now what's different about this, notice now I've got an effect on all of the spheres, and here basically are the three spheres. So you see that it's put a line, and it's basically a circle. So it's a pinwheel, it's moving. Now we can shift it around, but that's not what I want to show you. The reason I want to show you this is because right now we have that effect going on 3 models of the same thing. But if we go over here to the layer settings and we render style, if we choose a single or per model preview, now you can see we have that effect, but now it's on each individual model. And we did that by clicking one option in the layer settings. Once you have this, then you have in the effects options that you can change. So we're going to make these lines thicker by using the thick slider. And you can see that they've gotten a lot thicker now. Also, you can see that I have 4 colors selected, and black is one of them. So I'm going to deselect the colors, and notice that whenever I deselect the colors, all of a sudden things change. So we can add colors. So here again, we've just taken one simple effect, and by making one change over here, we've put it on 3 different models. Now another thing you can do if you want to play with the effects is roll the dice. And what I mean by that is it randomizes color and effect settings without a lock. So if you want these colors to stay the same, then you simply lock this lock here. Otherwise, it's going to randomly pick whenever we hit the roll the dice, so to speak. So if I press that, now you can see that I get a different effect. And again, I can make changes to this effect. I can move things around, I can twist them, I can turn them, I can make them thinner, I can slow them down. So you have lots of options. I mean, here we've put, again, the effects are on 3 different ones, but if we go back over to random or to render style and we change that to per model preview, now we have that one effect on all 3 models. Or we can go back to the default and it's going to share it amongst the 3 models. So again, real simple, a couple of little things that you can tweak and it changes the effect you get. And here again, all I did was change the render style. And now you can see that we can even play with this in that we can add more arms. We can make them larger. Okay, so there's a lot. I mean, it's endless on the amount of effects you can do that you can get. You just have to sit and play with it, and I mean, literally, that's how you find the effects. And a lot of times, just sitting, clicking the dice, roll the dice. Now, here's something unique. Notice this is spinning, but also if I go down here to my sliders for the x-axis center, I can actually rotate that around. Now you can see that I've brought the spin to the front, or I can move it back around to the side like it was, or I can look at the side of it. I can also shift it up or shift it down by using the Y slider. So, and sometimes you make a change, and notice it's spinning super fast. I want to slow it down, so I adjust the speed. See, now I got it really slow. Now we'll be able to see that I'm actually making changes. But in order to make a change, sometimes you have to move the slider a lot in order to see the change. But you are, in fact, able to tweak and adjust. And you see, in order for me to find the center point of this, I need to move that back around. So it's just a matter of playing with the sliders, and see, now I'm bringing that center pointer back around. So again, it's endless. I mean, and that's just using the pinwheel. Now if I go and let's change to something else. Let's change to the single strand. Okay, so I drop a single strand down here. Now I have an effect with a single strand. And if I click on the effect and then go over here and click the die, roll the dice, and notice it's changing. And one of the things, something else I can tell you, again, it's all about colors. So sometimes we want to take out colors because it also, not only does it change the effect, but it also changes the colors that's used in the effect. So again, we can slow things down by simply adjusting the sliders. If we don't like a color, we can take it out, like the green. Maybe the green's too much. Maybe we want to do this in white. Maybe we just want the white. Another thing, now you see you have 2 different options. You can select left, right, middle, to middle, and from middle. So this is going to change the effect as well. And the other option that we have here is the chase. So this is the skips. If you like something in this, like an effect, you want to save the effect, because if you choose the option to chase, now it's going to change that effect. So see, now it's not the same as it was. But if we go back to skips, it's the same effect. So now, let's say we like this effect, and let's put some blue in there. Well, maybe not blue. Let's put red in there. Okay. So let's say I like this effect. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on the effect. I'm going to go down here to Effect Presets, and I'm going to say New Preset, and I'm going to give it a name, and we're just going to say Sphere dash rotate. Okay, and I'm going to say okay and say okay. Now, anytime I want this effect, all I have to do is go to my presets and I can get it. Now, if I go ahead and change to chase, and let's say, you know what, look at this, it's going to all three models. I want to see this effect on one model. So remember, I go over here to render and per model preview. Now I'm getting that one effect on all three of the models. So again, just by making one little change, you all of a sudden can change the look or the effect that you're getting. And here I can increase the numbers, I can increase the size, I can increase the direction, I can make it bounce. So it's going to go one way and then go back the other way. You can also group, and here it changes. So one little click. Now I kind of like this, so I'm going to call this a stack effect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save it. So again, I go over here, I go to Effect Presets, I go to New Preset, and we're going to name it Sphere, and I'm going to call this stack because that's basically, and I think I have a stack in there already, so I'm going to call it stack B. All right, so now I say okay, and because see, it appears to be stacking them up. And so now let's go and use a couple of those presets. Click in the between the timing mark that I want to put the effect, and then I'm going to go to Effect Presets, and then I'm going to scroll and find my preset. In this case, the stack happens to be the last one I saved. So, and I'm going to click Apply Preset, and then I'm going to click OK, and it's going to put my preset in here. And if we look, that's exactly what we had. Another preset that I had saved was let's go ahead and Effect Preset and find it. And let's say the twist, and say Apply Preset and say OK, and you see it's in there. And let's go right here and let's put the other preset that I had in that I created. Let's see, Effect Presets, and let's say Rotate, and say Apply Preset and OK. Now you can see that I have all of those presets that I saved there. And let's bring this up and let's take a look at them. So again, you can change, you can alter, you can adjust, you can tweak. It's like never ending. And these are the presets that I created just as a random thing. Now, obviously, I do not have anything on the end there, but let's go ahead and stop it and put something on there. Another one you can use is a curtain. So we can throw the curtain down here. So let's throw a curtain down. And again, notice that it's on three models. See, it's going to curtain 2 and then 3. Okay, so we want to put that on each individual model. So we go over here to Render Style in the Layer Settings and go down to Per Model Preview. Now it's going to curtain that effect on each individual model. And here it happens to be going to the left. We have the options to center. And if we do center, see, it's going to open up from the center. And if we have an option for the middle, that's actually going to bust it from the middle and take it upwards and downward. We can change the speed. And again, sometimes you have to move the bar a lot to see an effect change, but it usually does change something. Also the width. Now notice that it went one time and stopped. There's a repeat option here. So if I click repeat, now this is just going to continue to repeat. You have an open, you can close, And if we don't have the repeat, we can actually open then close, or we can close then open. And if we take off the repeat, then obviously it's only going to do it once. So again, we can do random. So if we change and we like something, then save it. And how do we save it? Go back up, click on it, highlight it, right click, effect preset, new preset, and we're going to call this sphere. And then you want to give it something related to what it's doing. That way you can find it at another time. And we're going to say center open, or open. We'll just say open. And if you have a couple that are similar, then whatever naming options you want to use, I would use numbers or letters. So I might start with open 1, open 2, open 3. And if it's something I really like, well, maybe I will do open A, open B, open C. And again, once you get an effect and you save it, then you can go and take that same effect and roll the dice and probably create something totally different. So really, sky's the limit. So now let's see, is there another one that we can use? So let's do the wave. Let's throw a wave on here, and we're going to experiment with this. Okay, so now you can see that we have a wave, and it's basically just going up and down, and we have some options here. We can make it thicker, so we can scale the height. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. We can add some more colors, so let's throw some white, and notice whatever color is first is the only color that you're going to see. Even though I select blue, white is the first one, so that's the one that gets taken or chosen. So we can make this green. We have this is right to left. Our options are left to right, so that's going to go the other way. We can mirror it. That's going to put it at the top and the bottom. So again, it's endless at the things that you can create and actually put on the spheres. A lot of it is, you get lucky, you find something like this. Hey, I kind of like this. So again, how do we save it? Go over, right click on effects, click on new preset, and we will call this sphere, S-P-H-E-R-E -wave. And save it. And save it. Now I can roll the dice and let's see what else we get. Okay, so now we got a combination of wave. So again, it's like it's amazing at how many actual effects you can put. Now see here again, it's going on all three. If we want to put it on one, then we go down and select single, and now you can see that effect. But notice it's going really fast. That's because the speed was way up. So now we can slow that down and we can change it. We can change the thickness, the scale height, the colors. Let's see. So it's endless at what you can do, what you can create. So hopefully this video has helped get you started on creating effects for your ST Sphere. And as always, if you have any questions, just ask. I'm glad to help you if I can. Thank you for your time.